try to put a positive spin on things. And I do feel like if we put a negative connotation on things, depending on what it's about, we start to believe it. And you don't want to believe those things, or we manifest.
I choose to heal.
I choose to heal.
I choose to heal
as an expression of love to myself, my community, this earth, and those who I'm descended from.
Because holding on to my past traumas and holding on to bad things that people did to me was not leading to a happy life at all.
Why wouldn't I want to be healed? Why do I want to sit around stressed? Why do I want to sit around with weight on my shoulders? I want to be free. I want to feel liberated. I want to be able to accomplish things that my heart desires.
Because my driving force is happiness, and I want to be and speak and live in a place of love and light versus a place of anger and resentment.
Welcome to the Healers Break to Heal series, where we discuss the many ways we choose to heal, spreading high vibrational living and awareness internationally to create a collective divine energy that heals our universe. We believe in embracing our spiritual awakenings to identify our personal power and authentic selves. This series can be found on multiple platforms such as Lena Mystic YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. To learn more, you can visit lenamysticoracle.com. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy this episode.
Hello, everyone, mystical light beings, and welcome to Healers Break to Heal, Season 1. For today's episode, we have RavenLaniTarot. Can you just tell us about yourself, introduce us?
Yes, well, it's RavenLaniTarot. I don't like to correct people, but it's okay, because most people say Lani because it's like a Hawaiian sounding thing, but I'm country, so I say Lanny. But I respond to either or. So yes, Raven Lani of RavenLaniTarot. I am a spiritual life coach. I am a tarot reader. I am a healer. I am a spiritual guide. Whatever you want to call me, spiritual related, I will answer to it. I'm here to help people through whatever dark times they're going through in their lives. I really just try to be a vessel, try to be a support system, because I know what it was like when I was trying to figure out what I got going on, where's my life going, and I needed somebody. I didn't have it. Aside from family and friends, sometimes they don't really understand it, but I try to be that person to people.
So it sounds like you're kind of talking about how you dived into your spiritual awakening. So when did that start, and how did you navigate your way through it?
Oh, how did it start? Well, it kind of started and stopped a few times. The very first time it started because I realized that I hold on to grudges too much. And I always do a lot for people and they never reciprocated in return. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go get some crystals or some rocks. Like, I never really understood it. And my first crystal I got was rose quartz, for love and to be more compassionate and releasing grudges. And I got a clear quartz because, having my mind all congested and having sleepless nights because all the stress from people. That's how I first started doing that a little bit and kind of lost his way because, you kind of forget to do things. You have to be intentional or you forget. And then I got pregnant in 2019 and I was basically by myself.
Same.
Well,
I wasn't by myself, but I gave birth to my son in 2019.
Oh, what year? Or not year, what month?
It was July.
Oh, my baby's an October baby.
Oh,
maybe they can play together one of these days.
Yeah.
But my pregnancy, it wasn't a bad pregnancy at all because I was by myself. I had time to heal and to reflect on what I was doing the previous year because I didn't have a job at the time. So I was just out here in these Atlanta streets, just having fun and partying. And that wasn't why I moved here and having to get my life back on track. And even though me and my son's father weren't really talking at that time, it really made me reflect on the partner that I chose and my decision to keep my son, even though we wasn't really on the same page. And even though this is kind of going off topic a little bit, I decided to name my son Zen, Zen, because I had a dream one night and it was a baby. I didn't know if the baby was a male or female at that time. But he was like, mama. And I was like, what? And I just felt it was a boy and couldn't find it was a boy. And I said, I just want to name my child Zen, whether it's a boy or girl, because I want my pregnancy to be peaceful. I want him to be peaceful. And I want to just get peace in my life. And that really got me started back heavier into tarot and using readings to help me through whatever I was dealing with. So.
Wow. So I love this story you shared, because before I had my son, I had a dream and I had a son. And I was like, who is that? Like, but I knew he was my son intuitively. And the first thing I remember seeing is him smile. And he was really, really young. Like he was maybe 1 month or less than 1 month. And he was smiling. So when I gave birth, it was a boy. And he was smiling on the first day he was born. So it's beautiful that we have similar stories, because that intuition really shows up during your spiritual awakening. And I think that kids trigger spiritual awakenings within us, enlightenment within us. So I love the name that you chose. It's just absolutely perfect. What I do want to know is, how did tarot coexist with your healing journey? Like, how did that play a role?
Yes. So back in 2018, around Christmas time, I bought my own tarot deck, because most people say you have to be gifted a tarot deck, but if nobody knows you or no one does tarot, then how is it supposed to happen? So I said, forget all that. And I just started playing around with the cards, you know, asking all my friends and family, can I give you a reading? Can I give you a reading? And then it was before I found out I was pregnant. I was doing a reading, my mama, a practice reading for me, and kids kept coming up. And I was thinking, maybe this is talking about my son's father's kids, because he had other kids, but come to find out, it was representing me, because the Empress energy was there and all this time. And I was still learning the meanings of the cards. And so when I found out I was pregnant, I did a reading on my pregnancy, and I got like the Tower card and all that. And I realized I got to stop doing it, because I thought something bad was going to happen. But early on in the pregnancy, I was, you know, I had, not to get too graphic, but I was having like bleeding and all this type of stuff. But it was, you know, letting me know to be more careful and more cautious of my pregnancy and all this. So once I known, when I put the clues together, connected the dots, I realized that the reading previously was representing me about to have a child or being pregnant. The other reading was representing me needing to be careful during pregnancy and don't look at any bad situations as bad, you know, try to work through it and find positives in things regardless of what I'm going through. And every time I just felt like something was going on in my life where I needed to know more information about something, I would just ask my cards, wait a couple weeks or a month or something, and life would reveal exactly what my cards had. And you know, it just really, the cards just became my best friends, because they were able to answer things. They were able to make clarity of things that I had all in my head that I couldn't really put together. And it was just like a safe haven for me.
Yeah. Wow. So I picked up, because I do the same thing. When I talk about negativity, I always highlight that word, because I feel like within every negative, but behind every negative experience is a positive influence, is a positive teaching moment. So how do you feel about how negative things can play a role in your positive lifestyle?
So I try my hardest. Sometimes I slip up, but I try not to say negative or bad or, you know, lower vibrational words. I try to say it's not as good as it can be, or it'll get better. You know, I try to put a positive spin on things. And I do feel like if we put a negative connotation on things, depending on what it's about, we start to believe it. And you don't want to believe those things, or we manifest it. And I say, and I really stand true behind that, because a quick little short story. When I moved to Atlanta from South Carolina, I was working a consulting job. I traveled every single week, and I kept saying, oh, I wish I could have more time to experience Atlanta. I wish I had time to go out. I got laid off, so I had all the time in the world, you know, to go out and do all this partying. So I knew from then that I have to be more intentional about what I say and try not to say anything negative. Even if I'm having a bad day, I need to find ways to channel that energy to keep my energy upbeat and positive. And it's still hard, you know, I'm not going to say I'm perfect.
Yeah, it's a practice.
Exactly. It is practice every single day. And, you know, just from that experience, I know that being negative can definitely, you know, manifest in your waking life. Did I answer the question?
Yeah, you did. So I want to know, because I'm curious, when we go through hard times, we end up relying on a certain principle or practice. What was that principle or practice, that spiritual principle or practice you lived by during your hardest times?
Well, I don't really stick to one thing. Tarot obviously is always a good tool. You know, I started dabbling into oracle cards. I feel like they give different messages than what tarot can give. But I just feel like it encompasses a lot of different things, because sometimes I may just need a breath of fresh air or something, and I probably just need to go outside and just do nothing, just exist. Or I may need to, you know, burn some herbs or something like that. And at one point, you know, like everybody else in their spiritual journey, they probably dabbled in making candles. I found it to be very therapeutic to make candles and eventually try to, you know, sell candles or whatever for whatever you're dealing with. Connecting with the lunar phase, you know, that's really a routine or not even routine, that's just a way of life at this point now. Because I really found peace in connecting with the new moon and full moons and really seeing things that I manifest or things that I want to do manifest and comes to life. So even through my darkest times, I have a few different tools that I pull out my purse to try to use, because, you know, if I'm feeling very sad, I may want to write. If I'm feeling like stagnant, I may just need to smudge or something, you know, so I can't just give you my thing.
Yeah, so I'm a little distracted because I see your aura and it's very purple, but the purple,
my favorite color.
Really?
Yes.
It's literally all over you. It's in your hands, so I can tell that you're very healing, and you do it through, is it ancestral work that I'm seeing, or your spirit guides really playing a big role? Because purple is not only your intuition, but it's your connection to the universe, to the divine, to source. So how does that play? Like how does that work?
Well, I don't really do ancestral work like that. That has been something that I wanted to really dive deeper into. Yes. And I've been trying to, because I feel like, and I've said this probably a couple of weeks ago to my mom, I feel like my granddaddy came to me in my in my dream, and I wasn't ready, like I was scared. But I've been looking through old pictures and I found a picture of him and I put him beside my bed, waiting for him to come back. So maybe you feel his energy around me now. If it is, and that just makes me so happy, because I've been waiting for him to come back because I'm ready to talk to him now. But you know, that could be a sign that I need to look deeper into ancestral stuff, because that's something that I've been wanting to really and truly connect with, because I feel like it's a certain process for that, aside from other reasons. I did try to dabble in it previously, but I just think I was doing it prematurely. But I know somebody here with me, watching me, you know. I just keep my finger on who.
Crazy. I see literally feathers when I look at you, and I see, so that could represent angels or even like support or whatever, but I see purple. I've never seen this before, but like it's all over you. Normally when I see auras, it's like a line and like a bubble or puddle below people, but yours is literally like all right here. It's in your hands. So you're very healing intuitively. And it's funny because I call myself a healing intuitive, but that is what you are as well. And I wonder if that's how we found each other. Even your name being Raven, and me reading up about ravens and researching ravens. Is that your birth name?
It is.
Wow.
It's my name, my real name.
Wow, that's beautiful. Wow. Okay, so next subject is chakras. I wanted to talk about chakras, and it's funny I saw your aura, because what is your favorite chakra, and also what are they, and how do you put that into your work and your business?
Yes. Oh, what is my favorite? I don't really know if I could pick just one, because I love them all for different reasons. But I would probably say the solar plexus chakra might be my favorite, hence why I'm wearing yellow. You know, yellow, the solar plexus is linked to confidence, self-esteem, willpower, motivation within oneself. So I would say that's probably my favorite. My second favorite is probably the sacral or sacral chakra. That represents passions and creativity, sexuality, and that type of stuff. But those are probably my top two. I love them all. I don't really want to pick favorites. They're all my baby. What was the next question? What are they? What are chakras?
So can you explain to people in the audience that will not be familiar with chakras?
Yes. So chakras, just as a quick summary because there's so much information. We have 7 main chakras throughout our body. We have the base, the sacral or sacral, solar plexus, the heart, throat, third eye, and the crown. And each one of them governs different things in your body. So like the root is your foundation, security. The sacral is sexuality, pleasures in life. The solar plexus is confidence. The heart is how you love people and grudges and compassion. Throat is voice, speaking your truth. Third eye, obviously, intuition. And the crown is like the interconnectedness and just being one with the universe. So the crown is basically the hardest one for people to really tap into, because you have to really be loving and free and let things flow to you and through you, and not be judgmental. So a lot of people struggle with that. But you know, the chakras also develop at different points in your life. So that's another interesting thing about them for people to read up on, to look into. But the way I use it for my healing journey is how I'm feeling. I try to wear more colors of those and just be intentional about everything that I do. Like I see you have a sunflower behind you. So if I'm having a sad week or something, I will literally go to the store and buy yellow flowers. Like right now, I have purple and green here because I wanted to just work on my heart chakra for this week. And I threw in some purples because you're my favorite color. But
that's mine too. That's my favorite.
Yes, we're supposed to bend to each other. But for my clients or, you know, followers, people who I engage with, you know, basically the same thing. I try to teach them, you know, is more than one way to skin a cow. It's more than one way to work on your confidence. It's more than one way to work on your intuition. Maybe you don't want to buy crystals. Maybe you want to seek color therapy, you know, being more intentional about the colors that you bring into your house or that you wear. Or maybe you want to eat certain foods to help you with whatever chakra is off balance. But the key to healing, if you want to use your chakras, is being able to identify and being able to be honest with yourself. Because honestly, I wouldn't be here right now if I was not honest with myself about how I hold on to grudges with people. Because that was the first thing I started with. I could still be walking around with a sour face and you know, have gotten anywhere. But I think chakras are an amazing thing for people to look into, even if you don't want to get into the whole playing with cards or burning herbs and all that. It's something that you can incorporate in your yoga practices.
Yeah. So how can you normally tell your chakras are unaligned? How can you tell?
Different things, you know, especially with the heart chakra, you know, being angry or, you know, being upset with people, because sometimes you just can't help people. And if you want to keep them in your life, you got to meet them where they at and just let them do what they gotta do.
I was just telling people energy is expensive and it is currency. So you have to figure out where to place your energy and if someone's even receiving it or is it going to waste.
Exactly. And I ain't got no kind of time and I ain't got no type of energy for your foolishness. So when you want to act right, come on, I might accept you then because I ain't no fool, but you know, until then, gone away. But as far as my root chakra, my base chakra, for me to know that that's off key, I just feel like I'm all over the place. Like I can't focus. I need something to center me or my head is just foggy. I'm like, you know what? I gotta just get away. And I feel like when most people go on vacations, that's probably a way for them to determine like, okay, you know what? My base chakra is probably off. I just need to recenter myself. With my sacral chakra, that's one of the hardest ones for me to really notice if it's off key. So I just have to be intentional about anything that I want to do as far as creativity goes, or as far as seeking the pleasures in life, and not even that, maybe not even overdoing it, because you can do too much of something that you like and it's to the point where, you know what, you're turned off by it. So I have to be careful about being overactive in that. As far as my solar plexus goes, I don't think I'm ever lacking on that, honey. Not to toot my own horn, but if I don't toot my horn, nobody else gonna toot it for me. So I'm always good on that. And my throat, as far as speaking goes, sometimes I can be shy. Like if I'm trying to meet new people or trying to network, I can be shy. So I just need to be like, you know what? my throat chakra got to be worked on. I got to carry me some aquamarine or some blue chalcedony with me, so I'll be more intentional, because I came here to network. I came here to make friends, so I gotta, work on that. And as far as the third eye and the crown is always a work in progress, and I feel like I practice my third eye all the time because I have to keep it open. If it's not open, then I can't see what these cards are saying, so that's kind of how I determine what's blocked for me and how I need to open it up or scale it back.
Yeah, so I can already tell both of these are really, really strong. I feel like they have a constant flow, which is curious to me that you said you don't connect that much to ancestors, but I feel like they're what leaded you towards your spiritual awakening, your enlightenment. And it could be like something as simple as leaving a coin, and it just took you away from your moment where you were in that life, and you just look at it and you're in that moment when you find something beautiful, like a dime or a $20 bill on the ground, and you're like, oh, this is cool, like, yay, now I'm happy. Like, I feel like your guides sometimes do stuff like that on your journey to reel you back in, recenter you, and refocus you. So it's curious to me that you may not be able to see that it's them, but I truly see it all over you. It's them that's guided you. So you said it's a work in progress. Of course, every chakra is a work in progress, but you're really strong there. And I just want to make that clear.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And you probably, with you saying all this, I'm going to look up like the feathers. I'm going to, make a note to carve out some more time to look into ancestral stuff and figure out what do I need to tap into it more. Because I don't think you're saying it just to be saying it. Like whenever I hear spiritual people saying this stuff, I'm listening, because you don't just be saying words for the heck of it. Like you can keep those words to yourself if you were just, talking. So I really appreciate you sharing it with me, because this is probably something that I should have been did. And I just
no, don't even say that, because we know how divine alignment is.
Yeah.
And it's not always what we think it's going to be, and we kind of rush ourselves to be to a certain place, but where you are now, you're supposed to be. Like, I think that's the biggest thing, and that's the root chakra. That's the root chakra saying you are where you're supposed to be. Like, you can have a sense of security in where you are in your journey. And I do want to ask you a question. You said, I don't remember who it was you were talking about, but I'm curious what the cigar smoke is that I can sense. Is there someone who smoked cigars or something, or had cigars?
I don't know.
I think you should look into that as well, because I'm sensing cigar smoke, and
let me write this down.
What is it? I actually have one in here. Let me see if I can show you. Not a cigar, but I'm also seeing something like this. You see it?
That reminds me, like, I Dream of Jeannie, her Jeannie bottle. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know if it's before your time or not, but I used to watch a whole bunch of old TV shows. But I don't know. Well, that's alcohol that was in there.
Yeah, like I'm specifically seeing like brown alcohols, like not
my granddaddy used to drink all the time.
Yeah. That must be why I'm literally seeing that. And then I see cigars or like cigar smoke or something too. But I wanted to go ahead and say that to you. And we're also still talking about chakras. So I wanted to clear up like how you use chakra work with manifestation.
Yes. So let's say, and I haven't really done this in a while, but let's say I want to work on, I don't know, we'll say finding love. Everybody wants to find love, right? Even if you're with somebody, you want to strengthen the love you have. So let's say I really want to work on being a better partner, because even though you may want love, you have to be a good partner. You have to be able to receive the love. You have to be able to reciprocate the love. And everybody has a role you have to play. So you got to make sure you're good in your position before you can get what you really want. So let's say I'm working on wanting to be more loving or something of the sort. Of course, cleanse my little space with my little whatever, and I sit crisscross applesauce. But I have my crystals in my hand. I'll probably have rose quartz, unakite, pink opal, anything pink or green. And then I'll just sit there and like focus on like my heart chakra, like maybe green light coming out of my heart chakra, and, you know, working on speaking what I want when it comes to love, and how I want to be a better partner when it comes to love, and how I don't really want to be judgmental when it comes to love, or I just want to be very compassionate and have, you know, limitless love, you know, things like that. So really just focusing, cutting out all the extra bull. I'm about to cuss. I'm sorry. I don't want to, because I'm on my wife, so I don't want to cuss.
Wait, that's the truth. A lot of us do. Okay, so this is the honest channel. Everything is honest.
So I may just sit there and just be like, I'm ready for a relationship. Like, I'm ready to be loving. I'm ready to be loved. I'm ready to reciprocate the love that, you know, that I'm asking for. I want to be able to be in a loving love. I want to be in a respectable relationship, you know, things like that. Aside from focusing on the physical features of people, what really matters? Like, I want you to love your family as well. I want to see how you love other people. I want you to love yourself. I don't want to be with someone who's insecure. So those are the things I would think about as it relates to your heart chakra, because there's a lot of things that encompasses love and how to love. And I want to make sure that I'm able to pick up on those things when it comes to love, because you don't want to just be picking the first person you see and they probably do, you know?
No.
But if I'm thinking about my base chakra, then I, of course, meditate with probably, I don't know, black tourmaline or red jasper, onyx, something black or dark brown or something, and think about, where do I need stability in my life? How do I want to manage money better? Because money is tied into your foundation, your security. So a lot of times when I do, even though I don't really intentionally sit down and do that when it comes to money matters, I always ask for financial stability and financial smartness for my base chakra to be able to manage my money, because it don't matter how much money I get. If I can't manage that money, you know, it's irrelevant.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that's how I kind of encompass or incorporate the chakras with manifestation and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds like you also practice affirmation work. So can you share with us some of your favorite affirmations and how they played a role in your journey?
Yes. I'm happy you brought that up, because girl, it's still a long work in progress, but it was supposed to have been done last year, but hopefully this year I will have my affirmations deck published and designed and everything. So that's really,
on that project.
Thank you. That's something that's really near and dear to my heart. So I have a lot of affirmations that I really like, but one thing that I always write is money flows to me freely. Money flows to me continuously. I am a money magnet. You know, no matter how much money I get, you know, it's still coming in and out, because it's because I get the money. And I'm not saying I'm rich, but I get the money and I put it back out. Like, I give back to people. I help people. Like, you know, I don't, and I'm not binded by money. I used to be a long time ago, but the more that you let money define you, you're never going to be anybody extravagant.
You're letting it run you instead of you attracting it. Yep.
Exactly. And that's probably my favorite affirmation that I say or that I speak whenever I'm doing things. But also, like, I'm a divine being. I surrender to divine timing, divine alignment. What's mine is mine. It's going to happen when it's supposed to. This isn't really an affirmation per se, I guess, but something that I don't know, it just came to me one day. It's like, create with intention, deliver in divine timing. So as long as whatever you do, you create it with intention, you be intentional about everything, it's going to deliver when it's supposed to deliver.
Yeah, I don't get the tattoo on me. Isn't that what they say alchemy is? It's like when you really focus on intention, that's when you can create the magic. That's when it becomes magical, because you set the intention and then you put in the work. And then you have both of those, it's bound to come your way. But what's even sadder is if you have those intentions that you don't want to attract, and you keep focusing on that, and you keep practicing the same behaviors, and you attract that. So it works both sides.
Yeah.
Wow.
We just have to be intentional about what we do, think, feel, and say, because they be listening. They don't know what you really want and what you don't really want. So you
Nope.
better make sure you right all the time.
Yep. You got to focus on what you want more than what you don't want. And we're all working on that. Like, because we don't even know it's a thing. When we're born, we don't really know it's a thing. And we start practicing these behaviors that don't lead us in the best directions. But then when we finally learn that intention sets the pace for your life, it's a whole nother ball game.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
So what do you have coming up? What events and courses are you doing?
It's funny that you say events too. Girl, my head gets me going everywhere. But so I've always said I want RavenLaniTarot to be a household name. I said it when I first started. I never really knew what that meant. Or where I wanted to go with it. And I knew I love tarot cards, don't get me wrong, but I can do it forever, but I can't do that forever.
You're trying to progress. That's it. You're trying to progress.
Exactly, trying to progress and elevate. So I'm working on creating workshops where I can do like speaking engagements. I'm hoping I can have my first one for May of this year, and I want to go to different cities. So I'm trying to figure out how I want to do all of that. So that's one thing that I'm working on. My deck, hopefully by the end of 2022, that'll be something else. But just the ongoing tarot readings that I do for people. I have my ebooks or my e-guides. I like to say e-guides. And my tarot class teaching other people how to read tarot and how to do it in a fun way to where you can learn and connect with the cards and not memorize it. Because when you memorize stuff, you're bound to forget it. You have to connect and learn. So
that intuition has to work with that sacral chakra, and they have to be creative. That's where readings really come from. It comes from you being creative with it, really noticing what stands out to you, not necessarily remembering exactly what it means. And each deck is built differently. Now they're going to have similar meanings, but each deck is completely different.
Yes. And I cannot stress that enough about people. Like on my Instagram, occasionally, I'll try to do at least once a week. I'll pick 2 cards from 2 different decks and tell them to pick a card that you resonate with. Same card, but the pictures give you 2 different meanings, 2 different messages. So yes, I stand by that 1,050%.
Yep. I mean, can you imagine if it's 72 cards, right? If the 72 cards meant the same thing for each person, that wouldn't. It's 70 something. I think it's 72, or I'm thinking 52 in one of the affirmation decks I have, but it's 70.
It's a lot. It's a bunch of cards.
Yeah, it's definitely a bunch, but basically everybody you give a reading to, if the card meant the same thing for everybody, like that just wouldn't be a thing. Like it wouldn't be
exactly.
It would be as if
it'd be a scam.
Yeah, it would be the same reading over and over again, and that would get very old, and people probably wouldn't come to you because it's the same reading over and over. But if you have a basis of what the card means, and then you also get creative with it, it's like art. Can you imagine if everybody did the same exact piece of art? It wouldn't be a thing.
It'd be stale.
It would be boring.
Yes.
But you have a lot going on. I mean, I know that your deck's coming out this year, so we're gonna make sure that happens for you. We're gonna all manifest that for you.
Thank you. Thank you. I receive it 1,000%. It's gonna happen. Yes.
Yeah, it is. It's gonna happen. But that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm really happy with how this went. I don't know if you wanted to share anything else, maybe where people could find you.
Yes, y'all can find me on Instagram at RavenLaniTarot, my website, RavenLani.com or RavenLaniTarot.com. It'll take you to the same place. Those are the things I primarily use. I mean, y'all might find me on TikTok or YouTube, but I'm really most active on Instagram.
Yeah, I see you post daily tarot guidance and just spiritual guidance overall, and that's amazing that you can keep up with that. It's absolutely amazing. Girl, I'll be disappearing for like 3 weeks at a time. I'll be disappearing.
Let me tell you, I first started my page in 2019 and I stopped because I got pregnant, obviously. And I was like, I can't keep up because I was trying to be like one of those YouTubers, well, I guess you're a YouTuber too. But, but back then it was like, the collective whatever. And I was like, I can't keep up with it. So I stopped. And, you know, throughout my pregnancy and my awakening, I realized I needed to jump back in it. And I started back at the top of 2020. And, you know, I just stopped looking at other people and started doing what I was called to do and connected with the cards. And, you know, sometimes I'll post every day. Sometimes I'll post a couple days a week. But I try my hardest to put whatever I pull, because if I pull a card or work a card for me, I'll put it up there because I know somebody else needed that as well.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I stay consistent.
Yes, and that's how the divine works. Like, you never know exactly. And when you try to keep up with certain things, it just ends up becoming a mess. And then everything becomes unaligned at that point. And then now you really have to take a step away. And it's going to be a longer step away because you keep forcing yourself to match the energy that you think you're supposed to be at. But that's not your energy at all. I mean, I have that all the time. I be telling my subscribers, I'm like, y'all, I know I disappeared for 3 weeks, but like, I'm back. Okay, I'm back. Hi.
Like, don't worry about how long I was gone. Enjoy that I'm here now.
Yeah, and I'm better than I was before.
Exactly.
Yep. And I really think the culture that we live in, just as a planet, is as if everything has to be grind, everything has to be one thing after another, but we rarely really accept our progresses as what they are. Like, it's like, hey, I just wrote a book, but like, I'm on to the next project. But did I celebrate my accomplishments? Exactly. You know,
did you celebrate? Did you do what you needed to do with the book? Is the book even, did you serve its purpose? Did you give good information? Kind of like an album. Like, I don't need you putting out another album right yet. Like, I don't need it rushed. I don't want, because I'm gonna throw it away already if it ain't no good.
Yes, exactly. There's this song by, I can't remember her name, but she does affirmation music. And her name's Tony. I'll probably send it to you. It's like Tony and then something else. I can't remember. But she does a song and it's like, you got to wake up. You got to do stuff. You got to journal. You got to meditate. You got to do this. And then she's like, slow down. Slow down. Like, in the song, she's literally like, slow down. And at first, when I first heard the song, I heard the chaos. It was like, you got to journal. You got to wake up. I was like, yes, girl, I got to do all of that stuff. I was like, I got to hurry up. And then she was like, slow down. I was like, I did not expect her to say that. Thank you so much, RavenLani, for being on today's episode for season 1 of Healers Break to Heal. And I can't wait to connect with you again.
Thank you, Lena.
Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. To be considered as a speaker, please head to my website, lenamysticoracle.com, and fill out the form detailing what your topic would be. And once again, thank you for your support. Love and light to you, mystical light beings.